Again, this is I'm repeating it for many times, in my videos. It's like you need to pump evenly with both your legs. It's okay if you move off the board, but keeping your legs on the board. The center of gravity will not shift quite in a fraction of a second. It won't shift. Actually, it's going to stay in the proper place. You can always regain your balance while pumping, so you can move as far as you can and pump. Get that action. That's how you have fun while riding the Carve, particularly this kind of longboard. So have fun while riding that. Just pump happily and evenly. That's more important. That's how you don't strain your longboard. I would advise to carry an SOS whistle hanging around your neck. Longboards doesn't have horns or any sort of alerting mechanism that you are approaching the traffic or you're coming behind someone. Say like most of the places which I traveled yesterday do not have a pavement or a sidewalk. People were carrying milk packets and they were just walking on the side roads, just to keep them away or warn them that you're coming. Carry an SOS whistle with you, or any sort of alarming mechanism. I found this one to be much more simple and easy for people to understand. Carry one of these. There is a small history for how did I get one. Actually, I'm not the guy who makes noise in film theaters when you see your favorite movie star on the screen. I actually got this one for I don't remember exactly, but one of the famous movie star in India, Mr. Rajinikanth's movie. I cannot whistle. I do not know how to whistle. Use your fingers like this. I cannot whistle. I can only do this kind of whistle, and which is very feeble in a traffic. So I got this one for that, but I never got a chance to use this one. Whenever I take, the hall was almost half empty, so I couldn't use this. That's how I got this whistle. But I'm trying to put this in a good use by taking it for the longboarding. And as you observe my video, I, as usual, forgot to take this. So from next video or for my next trip, I will keep myself alert and awake and put it on my checklist or reminders so that I carry my SOS whistle. One important thing is, like yesterday morning, I started off a little early, but still it was a little bit dark, when I opened the door and everything. So I would advise you to have some sort of flashlight on your longboard if you're going to travel in the night, or put some same 78A grade LED wheels on your longboard if you're going to travel in the night, or put some flashlight, red flashlight in rear truck of your longboard, and a headlight kind of flashlight on front side of your longboard. There are lights available for you. You can look on most of the e-commerce sites for longboarding, or you can try put some custom fitting mechanism so that you can utilize the cheapest bicycle flashlights and fix them on your longboard. Always wear protective gears, and helmet is a must. Your knuckle pads are must, and your knee pads. I don't have one. I ordered one from Amazon, which are the cheapest stuff which you use for your motorcycling. That will do the job actually, but very unfortunate that the seller was not that great, and I had to return that. I'm yet to receive my refund, but I'll be ordering one more. So your knuckle pads, knee pads, gloves, with the pucks. If you have to slide or if you're falling, that will still help. Other than the normal glove, you need to have some padding over here. So the gloves which has pucks, that will help you. So always wear your protective gears when you're riding. I would advise some cheapest off-road full face helmet rather than having an open face helmet for Indian road conditions. If you're on a highway and if you feel like you're safe, that there are very less traffic approaching you or from behind, in highway it's going to be like a 6-way or 4-way road, so unlike 2-way road which we saw yesterday. So in that cases, maybe open face helmet can help. Otherwise, full face helmet will definitely do the job. So I'm planning on to take my motorcycle helmet, my scooter helmet, LS2 next time if I'm going for a very difficult road situations. So always wear your protective gears. From my experience of yesterday, it's better to keep all your valuables on your backpack. Do not keep it on your side pockets of your tracks or pants or 3/4 or shorts or whatever you feel comfortable wearing while riding the longboard. If you're going to trip accidentally, that will actually damage your belongings, whichever that is there in your pocket. If you're really unfortunate, so always keep your valuables on your backpack. Always try to ride your longboard onto the bicycle or the lane where there is a small white line drawn for you on the road for the motorcycles to travel. Use that lane for the most part. Wherever you find that lane, stick to the extreme left or extreme right of the road. That will keep you safe from any big vehicles when they are passing you. Sometimes they might think like you're on the safe space and they may not honk you when they come. When they come from behind. They may not warn you. So in that case, you should not. By mistake, you should not pump to their direction and make a chaos over there. So try to keep it within the lane, whatever you're doing. So keep it to the extreme left or extreme right. Oh yeah, I forgot about one thing. Take those gravels and small stones very seriously, because when you're slowing down or when you're about to climb a small slope or maybe a speed bump or consider this pothole itself, when you are too slow or your speed is not enough for that particular gravel or the small stones that you find on the road, when your speed is not enough, due to this soft polyurethane wheels, it will break your longboard all of a sudden, or for a fraction of a second. So it will break your board, which will throw you off the longboard, because of the momentum. So your board will go this way and you will fall in the front. Most likely you may not fall to your face, because you will keep your hand or one of your foot in the front to save yourself. But you might have observed me a couple of times in few of my videos. One of my terrace videos would show that I get tripped off from the wires that you find over there, cable wires. And in another video of yesterday's or day before, I don't remember, it's all due to the gravels that you find on the roads or hard surface that you find. My speed wasn't enough to ride that surface, so which tripped me off the longboard. So always be careful and take your gravels and small stones seriously. Try to avoid them. And this Carve 540 board longboard is tall enough, the trucks are tall enough, the wheels are tall enough to go past that piezoelectric LED lights that you find on the roads on the side of the road, on the exact white line where you parked it for motorcycle or two-wheeler riding and the rest of the road. It's tall enough to cross that, and it is stable enough even if you climb that LED lights. So no worries, not to that extent of bump you need to worry, but you need to consider these small gravels and small stones. Small stones in the sense broken bricks or something which has fallen off from a lorry or the trucks which take construction materials and stuff, such small gravels and stone. take them seriously. Do not wet your bearings. Bearings are, sorry, I have to go off the camera. The bearings are actually exposed, so there is no cover for that. So do not expose your bearings to heavy moisture or water directly. If you leave it that way, it will rust and you may not be able to ride your board at all. You need to change your bearings after that. So every wheel will take 2 bearings, so there are 8 bearings on this. So do not wet your bearings at all. Always oil your longboard, clean them and oil them before you take it for a spin, especially for long rides. Okay. One more point. When you are trying to kind of slow down your board, so applying too much load on either side, say be it back side or onto the front side, there are chances for you to lift the board. If you are not good enough in balancing or understanding what is happening, it will trip you off the longboard. So don't put too much weight on one of your legs. So if it is going to be a back side or a front side, keep it in a controlled space when you apply the load. Apply and lift it off, or apply and lift off. Don't lift it off completely, it will still move your board. So do it evenly accordingly, observing this. Being this a kicktail board, there are chances like it will actually lift your board when you put too much pressure on your back leg. So keep it in a controlled manner, do it accordingly. Being a big size rider, with the looking at the conditions of the roads and everything, it varies. It goes from good road to bad road to rough road, kacha road, gravels, everything. Try to avoid putting more weight on the center of the board. There are chances like you might damage the board for no use permanently. You can cause some permanent damage to your longboard. So keep your load as a big size rider onto the places where your trucks are. Keep your pressure and distribute your weight to the places where your trucks are actually placed. So that will keep your board safe. Always carry a spare tool that you saw, which I showed you yesterday. Always carry your tool and all the doubtful spares that you need, the bushings or maybe wheels in few cases or a couple of bearings, always carry them with you. Keep one set of spare parts with you always, when you're going for a long ride. That will save you from all unimagined hazards that you might find on the road. So as I said earlier, you should not wet your board also, like the bearings. Unless it is a waterproof board, you should not soak or let it be in the wet for a long time. It's a wooden board after all, so it might soak a little bit, or when it dries it might crack because of that. So better not to wet your board at all. So keep it safe. If you can, the grip tape will take care of the most part. I'm talking about the sides and the bottom. Sometimes that's where the splashes and everything happens. There will be a lamination already provided with the board, and if you're grinding too much, it might go away. So do not wet your board also. Deck, that's what I'm talking about, the deck. So as you can observe from my rides and everything, this board was designed for some 100 kgs and people under 100 kgs, but it is handling my weight also. So what I would say is, like, I think most of the boards are capable of handling a little bit of more load than they advertise in the specification column. So it's okay for you to buy a board which is slightly more than your weight and what is specified as max load. it'll handle it most probably. And don't take my word bluntly, but most likely most of the boards are well built so that it can handle your little over the max load that is specified. Lastly, and not least, always trust your board. And there is a saying in Tamil actually, மாட்டு வண்டி, there is a bullock cart, and அந்த அச்சாணி கரண்டு விழுந்தா கூட நீங்கள் வச்சிருக்கிற நம்பிக்கையில் வண்டி அது மாட்டுக்கு ஓடிட்டு தான் இருக்கும். அன்லஸ் யூ ரியலைஸ் லைக் அந்த அச்சாணி இல்லை அப்படின்னு நீங்கள் பயந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமா தான் அந்த வீல் ஓவல் ஆகி கீழே விழும் வண்டியிலேருந்து. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஆல்வேஸ் ட்ரஸ்ட் யுவர் போர்ட். இட்ஸ் யுவர் பெஸ்ட் கம்பேனியன் எவர். ஸோ I trust my Oxelo Carve 540 board longboard. I will take it to any long distances. So don't fear to customize the board as you want it, or make it durable as you please to handle the stress that you put to your board. And always trust your board. It will take care of itself. Trust, that's more important. It's your companion after all. So peace. That might have been a little lengthy video. Sorry if you find it preachy, or sorry if you find it boring. All I can say is I chose to share a few of my experiences and a few of my learning that I went through, what I got from these couple of small trips while riding my longboard. So I felt like I should share with the public. So kindly forgive me if you find preachy or boring. If you could add few more points, the experienced people, if you happen to see my video, if you could add few things, please do comment below and suggest me what I can do if I can better my longboarding skills. I'm very new to this. I'm just 14 days old. 14 or 15 days old, so I'm very open to take your advice and constructive criticism, of course. So thanks.